Hello there, wargame enthusiasts. Long time no see, huh? Well, this is the final video for that long battle, which has been dubbed Into the Jaws of Death in the video descriptions. Um, so, yeah, basically I'll play the last turn, but it doesn't really change anything. It doesn't have any significant impact on what's happened. And I'll try to do a brief post-mortem of the situation, try to figure out what I've done wrong, which I think I know, but also try to figure out... Oh! I see that house falling before. That's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, so in this battle, we basically got slaughtered, and we got slaughtered once we entered the town down there. So, in order to get into the town, I led two charges. I made two charges in there, one under the cover of smoke and two under the cover of nothing at all very much. Both of them were mostly successful, in that we managed to get most of our troops in the positions where we wanted them. However, once we did get there, we got stuck, we got pinned down, we became actually surrounded. You can see that we have enemies on all sides once we're in the town, and yeah, we lost. We've lost quite a lot of men. We lost all of our fighting vehicles of significance. All the other ones have become unusable through loss of guns and stuff. We didn't really kill a lot of the enemy. We managed to take out some of the tracked bathtubs that he uses for troop transportation, and we have, I think, got one tank killer. But apart from that, nothing very much here that we've accomplished. And to be honest, I think the charges worked out correctly. Maybe I could have put more pressure on the first charge, force into the first charge and just charge everything. But I'm kind of, whenever I've done that, that hasn't really worked out for me either. So yeah, I like the idea of reserves. The reserves tried doing some stuff here and there, but were mostly ineffective because the Germans seem to have a lot of advantages when engaging in long-range duels. So yeah, whenever I tried fighting the enemy at long range, I lost, and that led me to try and enter the town. Ah, jeez, that music, horrible. Anyways, so we tried to get into the town, and then in the town we were in the crossfire from both sides, from both these hills out there where the enemies are, as well as some of the ridgeline between those two hills, and we couldn't really find good spots to engage the enemy infantry, stuff like that. The enemy infantry, armed with anti-tank assets, managed to make short work of some of our tanks. The remainder of our tanks just got basically surrounded and destroyed, which I guess could be expected because, well, we didn't have anywhere to go. We couldn't move back, we couldn't move around because we were in crossfire from the hills, and the enemy had nothing to fear from the hills up here because I didn't want to put anything up into the forest over here for fear of, well, engaging in long range duels, which tend to not work out for me. So that's kind of what went down here, at least from my perspective. Now, the problem is, and kind of the reason why I haven't been doing this post-mortem for a while, is I tried to figure out what I should have done, and I can't figure that. So, yeah, I mean, I even played some additional scenarios, but just against the computer, or against myself, and I tried to figure out what I could have done. Just placing a couple of panthers in each of these hills and on that ridgeline over there just makes anything I do completely completely doomed. Once the enemy gets into those hills over there and sets up, um, once the Germans do that, the Soviets really can't engage that. The only thing I could figure out is put smoke on here, and then you can maneuver around a little bit. But even then, even once you do that, you only gain a little bit of time before that situation resumes and you're again under crossfire. So I honestly don't know. I also thought about something like putting down smoke on this playing this height out here and just driving through my units over here, try to take these hills, but that didn't work out either, typically. There's just too much ground to cover, and what you're doing becomes too obvious, I think, so I can see the enemy easily countering that. So yeah, so I don't know. And I kind of tried talking to my opponent, and I don't think he knows either, although, yeah, he won, so I don't want to diminish his victory because he performed splendidly here. I mean, if we had just those guys up there and he didn't move in with his Germans into the town, if he didn't do that, then he would have a little bit more trouble taking the town, and maybe that would have worked. But no, he played intelligently and he played a good game, and because of that, I have no idea what they could have done. So I guess, since I know like about 2 or 3 people are actually watching these from time to time, if you do happen to know what could be done in that situation and feel like discussing it, please feel free to engage me in the comments. I'd be happy to hear what I could have done because I'm at such a loss as to what the direct course of action would be. Or is this just doomed? I mean, that could be the case that there's just nothing I could do in this situation, or maybe you need to do something so completely specific, so extremely specific that I have no idea. I couldn't have pulled that off anyway. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say about this, if at all. And yeah. Hopefully we'll be resuming our schedule of playing some more games. Currently I've had a little bit of stuff to do at work, so I didn't really record anything. And even then, the last mission we played wasn't very interesting because, well, I guess that's a pretty interesting story. It's a mission with a bunch of forests and a river in the middle. The river has one bridge on it. The problem is that most of the forests are not crossable, not passable for most armored units, and neither is the river. And the only place where you can cross is a bridge, which is very narrow. So, what my enemy actually did is he parked a Kubelwagen there. He dismounted and the bridge was blocked, and then nobody could move across the river except for infantry, which I didn't really have a lot of, and he had a little bit of, but not enough to actually get across. So that ended up in a giant stalemate for 60 turns, and I just gave up out of sheer exasperation just recently. But we're starting a new battle where I'll be defending, so that'll be interesting. So maybe I'll have something to show for that. I'm also figuring out how to record these better so that you don't have to watch every non-eventful move that I make, every non-eventful turn that we make, that we're waiting for artillery, stuff like that. Anyway, that's for the future. But for now, if you have ideas for this map, let me know. And see you in the future.